That squad leader. Locate turret controls and commence disabling maneuvers.
Hello everyone, this is Chad the Gaming Dad here, once again with another episode of Fun or Run, the review show where we take a look at a game and let you know whether or not it is fun or if you should run. We're going back to 2005 again with another retro Fun or Run. The game in question today is Star Wars Republic Commando. So the first thing I have to ask is, do you like Star Wars? Shooters? Loot boxes? Single-player story? Microtransactions? If you answered yes, yes, no, yes, no, then this is the game for you.
Don't move. There's something here.
Set visor mode to night vision, Delta. Full spectrum.
Star Wars Republic Commando was made long before loot boxes and microtransactions were a thing. This one is all about Star Wars, shooting, and a great single-player story, although there is some multiplayer too.
All clear. Fire in the hole! Clear breach. Let's go. That smell. They're harvesting fidna resin, highly explosive in its raw form.
I'm reviewing this game today on the original Xbox, although you can play it on a 360. You can even get it on the PC. Pretty cheap. I think it's $10. And the bulk of this game is the single-player story, but there is some multiplayer. I doubt that the Xbox Live works anymore. Maybe on the PC, some online multiplayer may be available, but here it's just local split screen, which is still pretty cool.
Welcome, little one. This is your first day.
The story of Republic Commando is set during the Clone Wars, between Episode 2 and 3 of the prequel trilogy, and you begin this game as a clone. You're actually an unborn clone in your pod. You see it first person. You're on Commando. The cloners, whatever, the little alien guy comes up and he's looking at you. You're very special, he says. And yeah, then you go on to see some training, and they tell you again that you're not just a regular clone, but you're one of the best clones. You will be a commando.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
That is a great movie, but not the Arnold Schwarzenegger type of commando. The Star Wars Commando. Republic Commando.
I'll be back, Bennett.
So yeah, this is a good first-person shooter from back in 2005. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill first-person shooter single-player story. You also have a squad of other commandos that you can command, similar to how you would command your troops in the Rainbow Six games of the same time, back in 2005. You can instruct your guys to attack, form up, move over there, go do this, go do that, all kinds of things. You can set them up for different sniping locations or grenade locations. You can make them open and breach doors. Again, very similar to Rainbow Six. You can have them set off different explosives, all kinds of things. You actually can go do this yourself, but it's a lot better to use these guys because there's actually a slight, it's very, very slight, it's not hardcore or anything, but a very slight tactical aspect to this game, where you're going to want to set your guys up in a certain way to go after something, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. There's also a very unique health system. You see, you have your health, but then over top of that is a shield that gets depleted as you get shot, and it recharges. And then if you get hit when your shield is completely down, you take damage. It's very similar to Halo. But in Halo, you pick up health packs to recharge your health. In this game, there are no health packs. There's these wall-mounted Bacta units pretty much everywhere. If you don't know the word Bacta, after you play this game, you will know it like the back of your hand. It'll be the most familiar term of all of Star Wars for you. They say Bacta a lot.
You could use some Bacta, Delta.
Retrieving Bacta. Got it, sir. Getting Bacta.
Yeah, you even have to tell your squad. Not just yourself when you get hit and you need to refill, you go over to the Bacta stations, but your guys don't know that they need health, so when they're low on health, you have to tell them to go get some Bacta.
You, Bacta, now.
Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Getting Bacta. I thought you did rest, sir.
Yes, that's right. Hey, Commando, go get some Bacta. You could use some Bacta. Bacta, Bacta, Bacta. You're going to hear that a ton. Bacta, Bacta. They should have just renamed this game Star Wars Bacta. The other cool thing about the health in this game is that you don't die until everybody is dead. Sometimes you're going to have all 3 of your squad mates, sometimes you'll have less. But as long as someone is still alive when everybody gets knocked down, that someone can come and revive everybody. If you're the one left standing, you can revive a guy and then go tell him to revive one of the other guys while you revive the 4th one. But if you're the one that gets shot and you go down, you don't die instantly. You can hit a button that says recall and revive. Whatever their current orders are, they'll drop those orders, come over, revive you, and then get back to doing what they're supposed to do. So that's kind of cool. You don't just die every time. The only bad thing with that is that sometimes this game can get really tough, especially if a bunch of your squad goes down and you're left alone battling. You could get into a situation where the autosave kind of paints you into a corner where all your guys are down and you get into a situation where you just keep getting killed pretty quickly. You may actually have to go back and start the level over, but luckily they're not that long. That brings me to the game length overall. It's not a terribly long game. There's really only 3 main areas. The 3 main areas are Geonosis with all of those bug creatures, and then you get onto a Star Destroyer. So, of course, there's lots of robots and stuff. And then finally, you go to the Wookiees' home planet, Kashyyyk. I hope I'm saying that right. I really don't know if I am. Kashyyyk, Kashyyyk, I don't know. It's where Chewbacca's from. I would say it took me probably somewhere around 8 hours, but you may breeze through this faster. The sounds are really good. It's what you would expect from a Star Wars game. There's the John Williams music playing, and there's blasters that sound like blasters. But there are no Jedi or anything in this one. This is just all Star Wars troops, basically. The clone troops. The Republic Commando troops.
Let's move on. Eliminate task.
Need a reload here.
Some of the graphics are showing a little bit of age at this point because, I don't know, polygons are looking kind of blocky and some of the character models don't look that great. Especially the Wookiees. They look like big chocolate bars slapped together to make a character, but they have the good Chewbacca sound effect. They all make that same noise. They all make that same noise. My favorite of all the graphical effects, though, is that when you're playing this game, you're essentially looking through your visor, kind of like Metroid Prime. And the cool thing about this, they did it in Metroid Prime too, but in this game, when you kill enemies up close, sometimes either their blood or oil, if you're destroying a droid of some kind, it splashes up onto your visor, but then it's got this cool little wipe that goes across and cleans off the screen. I like that effect. That's pretty cool. The other thing I gotta mention here is because there's only 3 main areas, you see a lot of the same enemies over and over again. So when you're on Geonosis, you see a lot of the bugs and you see these guys that fly, and then you move into the other areas where there's a set group of characters or enemies that you come across. Toward the end of the game, they try to mix it up with a whole bunch of them all at the same time, but usually you're going to be fighting the same guys over and over again through the levels. They also have different types of enemies. There are the basic grunt types that you can shoot and kill with only a few shots, but then there are some very bullet sponge type of almost bosses. I especially don't like the flying Geonosis bug things that shoot lasers at you because they're a real pain in the butt. Battle droids that take a million shots, and then of course the giant spider bot. And this is where I was talking about the tactics. This game has very light tactics, but it does make going up against some of these stronger enemies a lot easier if you set up your squad to hit from multiple angles. You can set one guy to be a sniper and then the other guys to be grenades and set them on flanking positions and stuff, and then go in and try to blast your way through, and it makes it so much easier. I had a few levels where I died over and over and over again until I set my guys up, and then it was a breeze. You just go right through.
Let's form up.
So this is a very unique way to play any kind of Star Wars game. Like I said, no Jedis, no well-known characters, there's no Luke Skywalker, there's no Darth Vader, there's none of that stuff. You're just battling through some of the dirty work of the Clone Wars. It is cool toward the end when you're fighting alongside some really pissed off Wookiees, but basically it's just you and your squad mates going through a bunch of missions that is the everyday kind of work that a Republic Commando trooper back in the Clone Wars would have to deal with on a daily basis. So overall, this game, it's nice to play something different. There's lots of guns with different weapon upgrades. Some of the really cool ones you only use 1 or 2 times, like the rocket launcher. But you also get to jump inside turrets and mow down people every now and then. Heck, you even get to fire a bowcaster, just like Chewie. The one thing you can really say about this game is that it's just action-packed, first-person shooting, straight through from the beginning all the way to the end. So till next time, remember, you never outgrow video games. My name's Chad the Gaming Dad, and as for Star Wars Republic Commando, I think you know where I'm going with this one. This game is fun.
You, Vector, now.
Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders.
Getting Vector.
Thanks again for watching. If you liked that video, please press like and subscribe. I love hearing from you guys, so leave your comments and any suggestions down below. Remember, there's tons of other gamers out there just like you and me, and they also know that you never outgrow video games. Feel free to share these videos all over social media, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever you use. This channel is for all of us. Let's make sure they know that they are not alone. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.